Welcome back to Grain-Free Insights. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite kitchen utensils. This old-fashioned cast iron cookware. I love it. I use it almost every day. And I had to go through a little bit of a process to be able to use my cast iron because I have to eat very, very strictly gluten-free. And unfortunately, cast iron holds gluten. It's porous. Any porous material will hold gluten. Nonstick cookware will also hold gluten. So if you do use nonstick cookware and you have to be gluten-free, make sure that you are using it as a dedicated utensil, because once the gluten is in there, it can be kind of tough to get out sometimes. With cast iron, though, it's very easy to clean, very easy to re-season it. And reseasoning it is important because if you take proper care of your cast iron, you will have the best nonstick cookware in the world. I've included instructions below how to clean and reseason your cookware. Let me talk to you a little bit about that. This particular skillet, and I have a number of them. I have this size, and then I have one that's even larger. This one is the oldest. So let me talk about this one. This particular skillet I bought as an antique at an antique show. And I had no idea how old it was or how many things it has cooked or baked. And I guessed that it probably had gluten in it at some point in time, if not a lot. So when that happens, you need to clean and re-season your cast iron. Again, it's very easy to do, and I've included it in the notes below what you need to do. Once you've done it, it turns right back into the best nonstick cookware in the world. And if something happens where you need to clean it again, all you have to do is go through the same process and just use it over and over and over again. Now, it's important when you clean your cast iron after you have re-seasoned it, you really shouldn't use soap. You should just use water. What I do is I scrub it, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And then I put it on my stovetop on high for about 4 minutes and let the heat kind of sanitize. You can also put it in an oven, 350 degrees for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just to sanitize it. When I clean my cookware, my cast iron, this is what I use. It's called chainmail. Can you see it? Here, can you see it? Chainmail. Chainmail goes back to the 3rd century AD. And over the years, it was used as protective gear for soldiers and horses. So you might recognize it from those movies where they have everybody dressed up in these chains. However, you can also use it to clean stuff, and it is the best. Sponges, as you probably know, can hold gluten. They also hold a lot of bacteria, and it's not always the cleanest, best way to take care of your kitchen utensils. Something like this is so easily cleaned. You can also put it through your dishwasher, and it's good to go. Stainless steel does not hold gluten. This thing, I've accidentally put it through my garbage disposal 2 or 3 times. And aside from this little bob at the end that you can use to hang it up, it survived and survived and survived. So you're going to get something that really lasts a long time. It's not expensive. It's around $10. I'll link to it below. So hopefully you will find this and you will use it, and you will never use a sponge again. This is what I use, and I also use a nail brush. I'm almost embarrassed to show this to you because just like the chainmail, this has fallen down the garbage disposal more than a few times. Again, it survived. It's a little bit chewed up, but it survived. So I've had this forever. This also can go in your dishwasher. The thing that I love about having a sponge like this, it's really a nail brush, but I keep mine next to the sink. What I love about it is if I have additional cleaning that I need to do, or maybe I need to get into some crevices that the chainmail isn't reaching, I grab this brush. There was something else I was going to say about it. Oh, this is perfect when it comes to cleaning sharp knives that should not go in your dishwasher. What I do is I just put my knives in my kitchen sink with a little bit of dish soap, let them soak for a little while, and then take this sponge, being very careful to keep my fingers along the grooved edge, and then holding the knife, let's pretend this is a knife, holding the knife, I just scrub it like this and get it clean and then let it air dry. Uh, Going back to cast iron, if you have to eat gluten-free, have you ever had a time where you have made something in your kitchen and after eating it, despite being as careful as you could be, after eating it, you get a reaction and you have no idea where it came from? This used to happen to me a lot. It still does sometimes, but I've learned little tricks to help keep cross-contamination from happening. Now, let's assume that you are in a household where the kitchen is not 100% gluten-free. If that's the case, then that means that on your countertops, in your oven, where for example, if you make frozen pizza at home and for the rest of your family, you use regular frozen pizza that has gluten in it, a wheat crust. A lot of times it tells you to put that in the oven directly on the oven grates, which is great. It cooks beautifully. But when you take that pizza out, now guess what? Those oven grates have been contaminated with gluten. Maybe you store your cast iron in your oven. I do. Maybe you put it right in on top of those oven grates. Well, the bottom of the pan may pick up some of the gluten that was there. Same thing with putting the pan on your countertop or anywhere actually where there may have been gluten. It can pick up trace amounts of gluten on the bottom of the pan. So when you store your kitchen utensils, if you stack them like I do, here's the way to do it. You have your cast iron pan. Now you have another cast iron pan, and assuming that this cast iron pan has gone on a countertop or surface that has gluten in it, the last thing that you want to do is put that inside, stack it inside another pan to store it, because you're going to transfer whatever is on the bottom, very probably, to the top of the other pan, the clean pan, and then when you go to cook with it, there might be trace amounts of gluten in there that you hadn't expected. So instead, it's very easy. All you have to do is turn it over and stack it that way. And then if you have another pan, again, let's pretend this is heavy. Let's pretend this is another cast iron pan. That one, you would actually put it bottom to bottom on the cast iron on top. So now only the bottoms are touching. And then if you stack again, you go back to the first process where you turn it over and you stack it on top of the bottom below it. I hope that makes sense. If not, just write to me in the comments below and I'll explain it better. I'm so glad you were able to be with me to talk about cast iron. I hope this has inspired you to use your cast iron more if you own some. If not, maybe you want to get some and give it a try. It truly is the best nonstick cookware if treated correctly. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you again soon, and I thank you so much for being here today. I will look for your comments. I want to hear all about your experiences with cast iron and any utensils that go along with it. Take care.